cold open once again, rolling to see which game we're playing today.
Oh, right. We do this now.
Yeah. So last time it was an even split 1-3 Blades in the Dark, 4-6 Avatar Legends, but we want there to be some consistency between our ability to pop back and forth. So we've moved that center point. Now, if it's 1-4, it's going to be Blades in the Dark. 5 or 6, it's going to be Avatar Legends. So here's the roll.
We shifted our balance.
Hey, that's a 6. We're going back with Avatar Legends.
Okay, I'm real worried about what's going to happen. We're going to come back and it's going to be like, all right, Seaway instantly dies.
Seaway's going to die of old age at this rate.
We're going to get to the point where we don't have to roll. It's like, well, a 1-6 is Blades in the Dark.
Yeah, well, next time we roll, if it's going to be 1-5 for Blades in the Dark. So we'll see.
Odds are.
But in the meantime, previously on ImpTab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei, Weiyong and his new adopted grandparents were traveling their way through the spirit world, on their way towards Hyrule Peak, and subsequently on their way to the domain of Ko the Face Stealer. And as they were walking up the mountainside, starting to get towards that weird, crazy spirit storm happening at the peak, they were chatting, they were connecting, they were, having a good time until some anteater hounds showed up along the sides of the road and were like, hey, you smell yummy, we're gonna eat you. And they had a big old fight in which Weiyong cut off their tongues and destroyed their wonderful little hats, demoralized them to the point where they decided they were going to take their leave. They gave you the, point at their own eyes, point at you as they were walking away. And we left off with Weiyong off in the woods grabbing some branches at Kenai's request. Kenai and Kitchi having a little conversation about how things work a little bit differently in the spirit world. And so, what's going to happen now as we continue to approach the peak of Hyrule Peak? Let's find out here in the world of Blades in the Daofei. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to ImpTab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei, the Blades in the Dark, and currently Avatar Legends actual play where we make up almost everything on the spot. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by...
Thomas Ryan as Weiyong.
Noted.
Look, I did it normal last time and you guys were weirded out, so I went back.
There's a middle ground.
Nope.
This is a game, we're playing a game about balance, how if you get to either extreme of the balance track, then bad stuff can happen. But there's this nice, convenient little center where things just fit and they work.
I'm just saying, I ended up in this situation because all devil's bargains.
Thomas's character development is going to be finding the midpoint of his introduction.
That's Thomas as a person. That's his character growth.
Exactly.
Christian Randall as Kenai Kobuk.
And Evan Peterson as Kitchi Kobuk.
Man, yeah. So you guys, you're in the middle of this weird spirit forest. You got the storm up at the peak, and it was a little bit of a downer mood at the end of last episode, if I'm being honest. Lots of feelings being experienced. So just to kind of recap where everybody's at, Weiyong, you are currently feeling quite angry. Kenai, you don't have any conditions marked, but Kitchi, you are afraid and troubled. Not too good.
And Kitchi also has some fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm quite fatigued.
Well, you are an old lady.
An old lady in the spirit world. Rules don't apply here. You can just decide you feel good.
Yeah, the Anteater Hounds definitely did kind of focus fire on Kitchi during that combat.
To be fair, I got really up in their face.
Brought it on yourself?
Yeah.
We're on our way up the mountain at this point. How far up the mountain are we?
You're about halfway or so up the mountain.
That ain't bad. And time doesn't matter here, right? So we just gotta go forever.
Maybe.
Now, we already had kind of a conversation between Kitchi and Kenai as Weiyong was off gathering these branches. So now that you've gotten these branches from the very giving tree, you're kind of moving on your way back to the group. What's kind of going through Weiyong's noggin at this moment?
He's really angry, just about everything at this point, but mainly that he was able to get ambushed, because usually, his whole shtick is, I know what's going to happen next, and for the past 3 or 4 sessions, he did not know what's going to happen next. So maybe feeling a little stupid, not as good as he should be, mad at himself, insecure, I probably should have marked insecure. Anyway, yeah, things like that. Just generally down on himself.
Yeah, you're walking along and you look up at the sky. Like the branches are pretty thick here. You've been kind of navigating with the sky and you realize, man, that storm that was on top of the peak looks like it's gotten a little bit closer to where we are. And as you're going along, you kind of like stub your toe on a root and you get kind of upset at it and you lash at it again with your foot. And as you kick it, a lightning bolt strikes not too far from where you are.
I'm going to knock the tree over in my anger.
All right. Rely on your skills and training.
Just gonna earthbend the tree into the earth.
Sink it? I was just going to push it over. I wasn't going to sink it.
I suppose, do you feel more like you are relying on your skills and training, or do you feel more like you're pushing your luck in this moment?
Intimidating. No, I probably pushing my luck. There's not one for lashing out violently, so I'm going to go with push your luck.
Yeah, so when you push your luck in a risky situation, say what you want to do and roll with passion.
Knock tree over.
All right.
That's what I want to do. 9.
Okay. On a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. I tell you what it costs you. So what does your awesome earthbending technique look like as you knock this tree over?
I'm going to do... So it seems like earthbenders do most of their stuff in kind of like a squatting stance. So I'm going to, squat. I'm just going to, like, punch. I know it's simple, but he's not doing anything extreme. He's just going to squat and just punch and punch and punch until the tree falls over.
Yeah, and so you're here, you're punching over and over again, Dragon Ball Z style, getting your rage out a little bit. And, you might say, in fact, that in your anger, you have broken something important, which is enough to clear that condition for you.
Oh, nice. Wait, how important was that tree?
Well, Kitchi and Kenai, as you two are back by the road, you start hearing these thudding impacts and feeling kind of these vibrations going throughout the ground. And with each impact, you see, Kenai, especially since you have your spirit attunement, you see like these waves of negative spiritual energy washing up the peak. And as they hit the peak, they shoot up into the center of the eye of the storm. And with each pulse, the storm grows a little bit larger.
Oh no. Well, as I was saying, every tree here represents a very important spirit, so this is a very sacred site. Seems like our little buddy Weiyong may be having a bit of a tantrum.
He seems to have a lot of those.
Yeah, he's just a kid. He's got some anger in him. Got to find a way to channel that healthily. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna give you a little kiss right on your ankle because I know that hurt. And then we'll go ahead and get our buddy and get moving. Can I have guided and comforted Kitchi over this time?
Yeah, I feel like you certainly, especially with like the conversation you had at the end of last episode, when you try to honestly guide and comfort another person, roll with harmony.
I am always honest except when I lie.
Yeah, that's how that works, man.
Unless you're Weiyong, who just straight up can't lie in the spirit world, apparently.
Here. We're not going home yet, though.
That is a 10.
Very nice. So on a hit, the person you are guiding and comforting chooses 1. So, Kitchi, you can either embrace the guidance and comfort, and then you may either clear a condition or 2 fatigue, and then Kenai, you may ask Kitchi 1 question that she must answer honestly, or Kitchi, you can shut him down and inflict a condition on him, and he shifts your balance in response.
No, I'm gonna clear a condition.
All right.
You're not gonna shut me down?
No, I was feeling very troubled, and you have helped me feel less troubled about the situation.
But you're still afraid?
I'm still a little scared, but I'm less troubled.
All right. And then, since you got a full success, a 10 plus, since she embraced your guidance and comfort, you can also shift her balance if you would like, Kenai.
I'll put it back towards the center for her sake.
Thank you.
Every party needs a healer.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna ask me a question?
Oh yeah, and you have to answer truthfully, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So we hear the thump, thump, thump in the background of Weiyong just wailing on this sacred tree in this forest, and I'm binding up your ankle with some leaves from the hats that got torn up. Hey honey, I know I've been gone for a little while now. Have you... I know it's got to be hard without me there. Have you been seeing anyone?
Wow.
Oh, no.
What? No, of course not. How would you... You know what I do now that you're gone?
No?
I stay at home and I knit, and then twice a week I go down to game night with the girls. We play Pie Show, and they tell me all the latest rumors around town. That's my life now. That's all I do is knit and play Pie Show. That's why I want to stay here with you.
Really?
It's boring without you.
Well, you see, I only ask, honey, because you remember Wong? He was an old buddy of mine. I specifically asked him to keep an eye on you after I was gone, if that ever happened. He hasn't been stopping by?
Oh, I shut that down immediately.
What?
I didn't want to hang out with... I barely wanted to hang out with Wong while you were around.
He's such a nice guy.
Oh, he's so insufferable.
He really likes the railway system that they're installing. I get that, but
It's all he talks about. Railway this, railway that. I didn't want to listen to that for however long I'm going to live.
The boy likes trains. What's wrong with you?
I thought it was weird. He kept trying to stop by.
yeah, I asked him to.
Now I feel a little bad.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're still seeing people out and about and meeting with your girls. That's good. Oh, but maybe buy him a little figurine or something of a train and apologize, because I really did. I gave him a hard time because he said he didn't really want to hang out with you. And I told him he had to. I feel like I've created a problem here.
Oh, you always did think you knew best.
I do know best.
Well, maybe we should stop this sacred tree from being destroyed.
Yeah, well, I think he's probably got it out of his system by now. Let's go check on him.
Has there just been a loud thunk, thunk, thunk in the background of this whole conversation?
The whole time.
I'm just glad you're not a plant bender, or this would have been over immediately.
Yeah, about the time they finish the conversation, there's just this big old... and you feel this huge shuddering all throughout the mountainside. Lightning strikes down all around, like this entire circumference around the base of the mountain.
All right, as we approach, I'm just gonna... Hey, bud. How you doing? Did that feel good? You got it out of your system?
I've been better.
Oh, well, sure, Bit of a rough day. I get that. Here, I have an idea. You know what always makes me happy? And I kind of scoop B up from my shoulder with my finger, and I go and I place him on Weiyong's shoulder, and he forms the kanji for joy, happiness, and he kind of just like pulses on your shoulder. Isn't that nice?
I'm gonna look at the little scribble, and I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna be happy about it, though.
That was an option? I didn't...
I'm not gonna hurt it. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna look at it and just kind of, oh, that's nice. Thanks for putting the thing on me.
And I'm just beaming, just big old smile right at you, because you are obviously loving this.
I'll do a little pat and then scoop him up and put him back on your shoulder. Thank you. That was something. We should continue to ascend this mountain. If we're going to see Ko, we need to go.
Oh, little poetry there. I like that, bud. Just as a heads up, though, you have kind of made the mountain angry with your little expression of your feelings right there, which, we all need to express our feelings.
Well, the mountain made me angry. Well, I guess not the mountain. The anteaters made me angry.
Right, yeah. But and we sent them on their way. But now the mountains might be a little bit upset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk in front. You two hang back. Kitchi, she's really good about putting me in a good mood, if I ever get frustrated because I just can't get that one character written right. She always puts me in the right headspace to move forward, so I'm sure she can help you out. But I'm going to keep an eye. I'm a little more aware of the what is regular and what is irregular, because I feel like if you guys saw stuff, you would think everything's irregular, because it kind of is in the spirit world. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little scouting. You just follow behind, but keep each other in eyesight. We don't want to lose each other.
All right, I suppose I can do that.
Aw, what a good boy.
Didn't enjoy that. I'll take up the middle.
And then keep an eye out as to how angry is the mountain right now, because that storm, sure, this is a stormy mountain and that's pretty standard, but them lightning seemed a little bit more intense than regular. So I will mosey on up, or I guess glide, because I'm half paintbrush.
As we walk, I'm going to try and keep an eye out for a nice walking stick along the trail. And I'm going to be picking up sticks and testing them as I go.
Yeah, that's certainly simple enough. As you guys are walking along kind of in this on edge sort of atmosphere, Weiyong, from the center, you hear the rustling of wind through the leaves of the trees, and the rustling almost seems to form words, and you could swear you hear a voice asking you, "What are you trying to get here?"
Did you hear that?
What was that, bud? You say something?
So you were not trying to speak to me?
Me?
Yes.
No, I'm keeping an eye up ahead, Don't want to be surprised again. Those little anteater hounds, oof, they looked a mite angry, so...
Kitchi, was that you?
Nope. I didn't say anything. You losing it, bud?
I think I may be. I swear I heard words on the wind.
Oh, that's pretty normal. Just answer him.
I don't want to. Are you kidding me?
What? Oh, did they say something you didn't like?
Yes.
You feel like you're not in a comfortable situation?
No, I'm not comfortable. Are you I'm in the spirit world. I just want to go home.
Lightning!
I'm sorry you're not feeling comfortable, buddy.
The wind asked me, "What are you trying to get here?"
That's a pretty good question.
That's all you got?
What are you trying to get here? I mean, I know what I'm trying to get.
I'm trying to get home.
Well, we're trying to get the same thing.
Goodness. Kenai, I don't understand you, but I admit I do envy you a little bit.
I love Kenai so much.
Oh, what I have can be learned. I like I said, I went to university to study calligraphy. You can learn that.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
So I just have to talk to the wind?
I mean, if it's feeling chatty.
Does the wind do that around here regularly?
I mean, I've had some conversations. Ooh, I tell you what. There was this one time I thought I was telling a funny joke. Turns out I ended up insulting its ancestor, which, not to be crass, but it was born of a fart. And so
What?
it was a whole thing.
Why?
Just try and be polite, and I think the wind will appreciate that.
The spirit world has a way of amplifying things.
It happened at a state dinner. It was really embarrassing. There were some strong emotions attached. Things happen.
Well, wind.
I'm very clearly uncomfortable with this. I'm stiff as a board as I'm speaking.
I'm trying to go home?
And the wind continues to rustle around you, and it's rustling to the point where, Kenai and Kitchi, even if you're, trying to listen in on this conversation, you hear all these whisperings surrounding you as well, so it's kind of hard to focus in on what Weiyong is saying. We'll get to what the wind is asking you in a moment, but Weiyong, in response to that, the wind says, "And what are you willing to give up to get it?"
Is there something I can roll to see if this is the wind or some sort of demon?
You can roll to assess the situation.
I would like to assess the situation, please.
Roll with creativity.
+2, that's good for me. Ooh, not good enough. That's a 9.
That's not bad.
Okay,
Is that good?
partial success.
Oh, nice.
So you get to ask one question. What here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way in, out, or through? Who or what is in the greatest danger?
What should I be on the lookout for, specifically in regards to the wind?
All right. Are you familiar with the tragic Greek concept of hubris?
Hubris? Never heard of her.
That makes sense.
Why would someone as great and perfect as me know what hubris is?
Yeah, so I think especially in sort of the traditional sense of hubris, it's this idea of there are these characters who display a lot of, it's definitely a lot of pride, but kind of to the point of being rebellious against the gods, at least in terms of Greek mythology. Weiyong is maybe being a little bit rebellious towards the way of spirits here in the spirit world.
What makes you say that?
So certainly in regards to just the wind itself, but you start to get the sense that, maybe the wind is trying to communicate something to me that's not just about the wind or just about the spirit world, but maybe about just kind of the way that you live your life in general.
Oh no, I didn't want to have to go through a redemption arc. I just wanted one. Just give me the good outcome. I don't want to deal with the middle parts. What did it ask me again? What are you willing to do that?
What are you willing to give up to get it?
There it is. Okay, what are you willing to give up to get it?
I will do what is necessary to get back home, whatever that may be.
All right. At that point, as you say you're willing to do whatever is necessary, you see up ahead Kenai as he's just kind of scouting along. He seems maybe a little bit distracted, as if he's hearing the wind saying some stuff to him as well. But you notice that roots and creepers and vines are beginning to reach out of the forest towards Kenai.
Are they aggressive roots and vines?
They appear to be, and Kenai certainly has not noticed them yet.
Oh no. Weiyong wouldn't help you if I'm playing true to character.
Then so be it.
No, I think I can justify helping you.
We'll let you work on that, but in the meantime, we're going to figure out what the wind has been saying to your compatriots.
I do actually have a way to justify it that makes total sense for the character. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
Why do you have to justify helping someone?
Have you met Weiyong? Come on, man.
All right. So we'll pop on over to Kitchi at this point, actually. You hear the wind rustling and it begins to form some words in your ears, and those words say, "What are you doing with your life?"
Waiting
For what?
for this, the spirit world, to be reunited with my husband.
What have you given up in the 14 years you have spent waiting?
I don't know, I guess time? I guess I could have spent time doing more than knitting in my home. It just never felt like worth it to go out and do anything without Kenai.
What are you going to do if you make it back?
I don't know. I'm not currently planning on going back. I just have to convince Kenai otherwise. If I went back, I suppose I'd go back to Brother Hotaru and try and figure out a way back here.
If you wish to stay, then. And you hear the slithering and rustling of roots and vines and creepers from the sides of the road coming towards you. Now, we'll cut over to Kenai.
Okay.
And Kenai, the wind asks you, why are you helping him when he clearly does not seem to want it?
Oh, well, first of all, if you're that fart, I apologize again. Didn't mean to upset you.
Sometimes you have to rise above your origins. I mean, look at Weiyong.
Yeah, no, I believe that. No, Weiyong seems like a fella who just has had a bad hand dealt to him. You know, Kitchi and I never could have kids, but I always liked treating my students like they were my own. And, you know, he's a fellow bear from the BSSU, and I just would love to help him out. He seems like he really just needs a good guiding hand to put him on the right track, and boy, I just want to watch him run.
What would he do for you?
Oh, I'm sure he'd do anything. If push came to shove, you know, if the moment arose, I'm sure he'd be willing to help me out. He's got it in him, you know?
Well, let's see. And now we're going to have all of these moments converge. Weiyong, you see the forest attack both of your friends here and begin pinning them down to the ground, almost trying to pull them into the earth. And Weiyong, you hear the wind say to you, you wanted to go it alone, didn't you?
I hate you, wind.
I am going to Earthbend, and I'm going to save my homies, both of them.
Ooh.
All right. Go ahead and roll to push your luck, I think.
Fair enough. Can I take a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
I know that's not part of this system, but...
Well, I mean, I'm willing to homebrew some stuff if we think it would make the story more interesting.
Well, I want to see if I get it first.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll.
Whew, I got a 3. I want a devil's bargain, please.
A 1 and a 2?
A 1 and a 2.
All right, here, I will say, so if we look at stress in Blades in the Dark versus fatigue in Avatar Legends, you have 9 stress in Blades in the Dark, you have 5 fatigue in Avatar Legends. I would say you could mark 1 fatigue to push yourself potentially.
That would add another die to the pool.
Yeah, you would add 1 more die. So there's kind of a homebrew advantage-disadvantage mechanic for Powered by the Apocalypse that I've seen floating around, where if you have advantage or disadvantage, you roll 3 dice instead of 2. Advantage, you ignore the lowest result. Disadvantage, you ignore the highest result.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So go ahead and roll one more die, and then add the 2 highest dice together.
Okay. 5.
Oh.
Oh boy.
You don't add anything?
No, I got 0 on passion.
Yeah, so as you go to Earthbend, you find yourself fighting against the strength of the forest itself. As you are trying to push up against it, the forest, the strength of millennia worth of plant growth, the ancientness of this forest pulling them down into the earth. And once again, the wind asks you, if you wish to help, what are you willing to give up?
So I have the tremor sense. Can I feel them where they are?
You can't, yes.
This is so bad for me. I mean, I don't have anything. I'm in the spirit world.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I just have the clothes on my back.
You have sight. You have
Ooh.
hearing. You have your voice.
I ain't giving up me eyes.
You have your love of thieving. You have your passion. Your drive to become the Earth King.
You have your bending.
My bending? I'm not giving up my bending. It's how I know when someone's lying. Wait a second. I'm in the spirit world, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I had everything I had on me when I was in the Blades in the Dark universe, right?
Yeah.
So I still have a Spirit Bane charm, right?
Right.
And this is the spirit world?
This is the spirit world.
No, that's too cheesy. I couldn't do it.
I mean, you could.
I'm going to use the Spirit Bane charm. I'm going to throw one over at Kenai.
Ow.
Hold on. I'm going to throw it at the vines around Kenai in the hopes that it will keep them away long enough. And then I want to try and burrow and snag Kitchi while intentionally ignoring the wind.
All right. Go ahead and roll once again to push your luck.
4. Can I push my luck? Can I get some more fatigue, please?
Sure.
It is not your day.
5.
Wow.
How did it? Oh,
This is so bad.
You pull out the Spirit Bane charm and you throw it towards Kenai, and you see that the branches and the vines and whatnot, they do retreat, and they're like, you hear shrieking coming from the forest itself. But as it lands near Kenai, you also see that inky trail that forms the lower half of his body begins to blanch and turn white and shrivel and dry up.
Oh, you're a spirit. I'm an idiot.
yeah, I've been a spirit the whole time. So I just start screaming and crawling away.
I'm so sorry. I should have done that backwards. That's because Thomas is dumb. Oh.
In the heat of the moment, so here's what I'm going to say. At this point, now that the Spirit Bane charm is present, like the entire forest, the trees are trying to like push themselves away from the road that you guys are on. And they drop Kitchi and everything. They drop Kenai. But Kenai, how are you feeling right now?
I am feeling bad. I would like, with your permission, to mark 2 fatigue and to be troubled.
All right.
And so I'm just gonna army crawl with just my torso kind of and pulling behind, and I take B off of my shoulder, sweet little B jutsu, and I just throw him so that he can be out of the radius, and then I start going towards him.
I'm so sorry. I didn't think about that. I've just been treating you like a person, not a spirit.
And the longer this goes on, you see that the ground beneath it as well is starting to kind of shrivel and decay away, and it's forming almost like into a pit, trying to rid the ground itself of the Spirit Bane charm.
Weiyong, buddy, could you put that away?
I'm currently chasing after Kitchi because she's getting buried alive, right?
No, they let go of her as well.
Oh, okay.
All of the plants,
Yeah.
they disappeared when this thing showed up.
All right, I'm gonna just sneak on over and grab that, stuff it back in my pocket, because hot dog, that's handy.
You brought a nuke to the spirit world.
Like, it's effective on our side, but is really effective here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very sorry, Kenai. I'll level, I'd forgotten you were a spirit. That's been happening to me a lot lately. I'm not sure why I'm forgetting such key details. Usually I'm much more prepared than this. It's been a really bad day.
It's okay, buddy. Nobody really expects to be put into the spirit world while they're still alive. I understand. Wasn't on purpose. We all make mistakes.
Thank you.
Oh boy, though. This is gonna be a little slow going for a bit. would I be able to lean on your shoulders until I'm able to get my feet back under me, so to speak?
It seems I owe you that much.
And I will intentionally help another person
Whoa.
on purpose.
I'll say I do still have kind of like a wisp underneath me, but it's not like the thick, inky black that was there. It's like, it's just my torso and then like this little white, wispy tail that almost looks like mist before I can reconstitute it. So I'm kind of just hanging onto your back like a backpack.
Sure.
And then I'm just pointing which way you should go.
You're a spirit. You can't weigh more than what, like a pound?
I don't weigh much. Just like your conscience is on your shoulders.
Oh, no. I want the mailing list back.
You know, this is kind of an interesting moment. Guiding and comforting, we usually look at that as kind of an emotional guidance and comforting, but you're like literally physically supporting and guiding Kenai along right now. Would you like to attempt to roll to guide and comfort?
I've never helped somebody before. Not without trying to get something out of it. Sure, why not? When in the spirit world, right?
Yeah, go ahead and roll with harmony.
I have -1 to that. 2.
Wow. Weiyong is off his groove. Holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow's right. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
I will say, he's not doing a great job, but I'm still attempting to seek that guidance from him and guide him as well with my pointing and stuff. He seems like a pretty powerful bender, a powerful person. Would that be seeking guidance from a mentor or a powerful figure? I know I just got it, but...
Yeah. What would you do? Like, how would you go out of your way to seek guidance from this powerful bender?
Hey, bud, I really appreciate your quick thinking back there. You helped Kitchi out. I don't know if I could have gotten to her in time. She was so far back there. So you really saved my beef bacon back there.
That's a real thing. You know that, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Surprise.
What's a mixture of two things? Chicken bacon.
Chicken bacon.
That's probably a thing too.
Yeah, you just need to you just combine 2 animals and make that bacon.
Okay, yeah.
My chicken hog bacon.
Otter pig bacon.
Yeah.
Otter pig bacon. Anyway, you saved it. That's all I know. And I gotta let you in on a little secret. I haven't told Kitchi this yet. And I don't know if she knows, you know, I've been over here for about 14 years. She could have found out, but I kind of got mixed up with some not so nice people. They took an interest in my calligraphy. Everything was going well. There was another guy named Jen. He also did calligraphy, and he kind of... Well, we got mixed up with some people, and he made it out okay, and I ended up not making out, and that's how I came here. But you seem like the kind of guy who knows how to come out of those situations on top and be okay. Would you, when you guys get back to this physical world, would you keep an eye on my wife for me? Maybe just visit her every now and then. She's a great baker. She could make you some cookies, and you just check in every now and then.
Just real quick, you're not into trains, are you?
As a matter of fact,
He has a great interest in the up-and-coming railway system.
it's gonna be one of those legacy projects that you're kind of bound to finish, but you don't really care for. You want me to look after your wife?
Just check in on her maybe, once a week. Just see if she's doing okay. She says she doesn't really have anybody except the girls she plays Pai Sho with, and...
You do understand that I nearly killed you, right?
It was an accident, I understand, Right? You didn't do that on purpose. You were just trying to help.
I mean, I threw it on purpose. I didn't know it would melt you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You were trying to help. Sometimes we try our best to do the right thing, but we don't have the full picture. And, we'll call it a lesson learned, right? Maybe in the future, you'll just take one beat before acting, and it might make all the difference, and it'll be thanks to this moment. I'm not going to punish you for learning. I was a teacher.
If you can get us out of here, I will visit your wife once per week.
Oh, I knew you're a good guy, and I'm like hanging on his shoulders, but I kind of like give him a little hug.
Thank you.
Now, Kitchi, it's been kind of an interesting time. How are you feeling kind of at the back of the pack right here?
Yeah, I was going to actually, once they're done, Kitchi's gonna just walk up to Who and swat him on the head with this walking stick.
I was waiting for that. I knew something was coming.
And she's gonna kind of start hitting him on the back, not as hard, and go, What were you doing? They were helping me stay.
They were
They were helping me.
They were going to kill you.
and I would be able to stay here with my husband.
They were killing him. Did you not see that?
You may need to keep a close eye on her.
Are you interested in joining a Daofei, perhaps?
Absolutely not.
I know a few guys. Look, I did not intend to stop your death. I was trying to save your husband's afterlife. They were going to do something to him. That's what the wind told me, at least.
Can spirits even die?
Well, he didn't look very good after I hit him with the charm.
We can be deconstituted.
That sounds awful. That sounds worse than death.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough.
You know, it's just another state. It's just, I mean, you cease to exist as a consciousness or an entity, and you become part of the greater balance of energies within the world. So you just gotta roll with the punches.
You know, Kenai, that does sound pretty horrifying.
And that is why I'm glad you didn't just leave the charm there.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that one close to my chest. I don't want to melt anyone.
Hey, you know, if push comes to shove, you gotta keep you two safe. You guys have the physical bodies. You gotta get back home. I'll just I would like you to keep B safe, so I'll try and get him out of the way, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Noted. Kitchi, I'm very sorry that I saved your life. However, that forest was going to kill your husband, and that wasn't looking pretty good. So, how about we just all forget everything that's just happened and carry on up the mountainside?
Typical Weiyong that he finally does something good and saves someone, and it just pisses them off. He's like, this is why I don't do nice things.
But yeah, you like point back up towards the peak of the mountain. You're like, yes, let's just keep going. We'll forget about everything. And you look up and you realize, oh, wait, that storm that was like surrounding the entire mountain is just around the peak right now.
Oh,
I'm sure that doesn't represent anything. Let's keep going.
we're almost there. Let's go.
All right, you guys continue to climb up towards the peak of this mountain that seems to sense your emotions. And behind you on the trail where the leaves have kind of been blowing across, if you had stopped to look, you would have seen a couple tableaus formed in these leaves, kind of creating these little scenes almost. A scene of Weiyong trying to give a gift. The first one reaching into his bag and pulling something out, just surrounded by clouds and darkness. But the second one reaching into his heart for a gift instead and surrounded by light.
Oh.
And I think that's where we're going to pick up next time.
No! I don't want to help people. I made Weiyong to be awful in every way.
I know.
And it worked! It worked so well! He's terrible!
Yeah, it worked so well that you got stuck in the spirit world.
Character development.
This is the worst day of my life.
Man, those rolls, those were pretty rough.
I got one roll that was above a 6.
It was a rough rolling day for you.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm kind of like, man, maybe it'd be less stressful if we go back to the masked spirits for a little bit.
At least for Thomas, he doesn't have to be, well, he gets to be Day, and Day just rocks.
Day's just loud and nice. Those are his personality traits.
I mean, when you're face to face with a Daofei gang lord, then you know at least you can punch it in the face. But here we got to work with emotions and feelings and stuff.
Except for the Spirit Bane nuke I've got locked and loaded. I didn't think that would work nearly as well as it did. I thought they would just like, oh, you're in the spirit world. These things don't work. Blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah, I really thought that's the direction Ned was going when he was like, you can pull it out and try. But Ned was like, well,
turns out it melts a hole in the world.
Surprise! Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility, as they say.
I'm going to force feed that thing to Ko. Just throwing that out there.
I was about to say, he is not keeping that in his pocket at the co-meeting.
Well, remember what we talked about earlier, that there are different degrees of potencies of spirits.
I know. I'm just optimistic.
I'm a pretty low potent spirit. I'm just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Well, everybody, we'll see which of these terrible, stressful situations we're going to pick up with at the beginning of next episode. But for now, thanks for listening to ImpTab Avatar, and we'll be back next time with more adventures in the world of Blades in the Daofei. If you want more, go and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as a spirit storm that saw somebody decide to be generous for the first time in his life if you would go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media at Improv Tabletop, so if you'd like to connect with us there, maybe you would like to talk with Thomas about his resentments towards me for the way that I've been treating him over the past several episodes. Don't be afraid to reach out. Now it's time to shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons. Woo! First person we're shouting out is Daniel Wolf. Daniel Wolf was the voice in The Winds.
Wow.
He's a fart.
He's a fart.
Is the gas that was passed.
Sometimes you start from an ignominious beginning, but you grow into something more powerful, Sorry, Daniel.
I think that's the first time ignominious has been used in reference to a fart in history.
Well,
throwing that out there.
Yeah, terribly sorry about all of this, Daniel Wolf. You're a great guy. We love having you in the Discord. Next person we're shouting out is Mitch David.
Hello, Mitch.
Yes, Mitch David is the lightning spirit that gets to throw lightning down on top of Weiyong when he's being a little turd.
I have no comments, but if I did, they wouldn't be nice.
And yeah, I should stop just like dunking on Thomas so much.
No, it's fun.
It's funny.
We're built to suffer.
Oh boy. But yeah, Mitch David, enjoy those lightning powers because they are potent. And then the last person we're shouting out is Tetraslash. Tetraslash was the one who made the Spirit Bane charm back in Bossing Say that turns out is very, very potent here in the spirit world.
Yeah, holy cow.
We're going to have more patrons to shout out next week, and if you, our listener, would like to join their ranks, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get bonus episodes, Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more, such as the obligatory talkback, where I'm sure we're going to be talking about the Greek tragic concept of hubris. Now, let's do a round of plugs. Thomas, would you like to take that this week?
I'd sure love to. Have I got some exciting news for you folks back home? For one down payment of $0, you can go through our backlog and get all sorts of Fate campaigns. They're really good. They're really short. You don't have to commit to 30 episodes of it, but trust me, you'll want more. We also have 10,000 things. If you're like, hot dog, I don't have enough Avatar in my life, have we got some news for you? You go back in time a little bit, you'll find us adventuring for Wan Shi Tong, trying to prevent and fail to prevent a genocide. I talk about genocide too much with that campaign.
Well, it's kind of the defining characteristic of that campaign, if we're being honest.
Still, I don't have to mention it every time. I Cast Fireball, sister podcast, D&D 5e actual play, where they're going through the campaign Tyranny of Dragons?
Yes.
Did I finally get it right? Yes! Every time I've had to ask to make sure I got it right. Anywho, Ned's in that. Plays a little kobold druid. It's very fun. Very cool. And there may be more exciting things coming in the future that I'm not at liberty to disclose. Mm-hmm. Also, if you want to support the mass spirits or the spirits in the spirit world, go to fanrolldice.com, buy some dice, use the discount code VroomVroomFifi, and you'll hook us up and get some pretty cool dice in the process.
Indeed. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining us here in the world of ImpTab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by
Thomas Ryan as Weiyong. See, you guys don't like it, all right? Thomas Ryan as Weiyong.
Goodness.
He's got a point. I do like that one.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing a little pendulum maneuver here where we're going from like one extreme to another extreme, and every single time it gets a little bit closer to just settling in the middle.
We'll find it.
Don't worry about it.
Christian Randall as Kenai Kobuk.
And Evan Peterson as Kitchi Kobuk.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on ImpTab Avatar.
I watched on Reddit last night a video of two brown bears fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to the conclusion that I could not fight a bear and win.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I thought
I would die within about 30 seconds if I'm lucky.
I thought you were going to say, I could do it.
No, because those bears were just shredding each other. And like, they don't look that big when it's two bears next to each other. But then I remembered that brown bears are way bigger than me. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like, a 4-year-old trying to fight a giant. And yeah, no, confident as I am, I don't think I could fight a bear and win.
Well, you still got black bears in the can, though.
Maybe. After seeing brown bears, I'm not going to commit to black bears anymore.